Free beer and hot wings in the morning. Grand Rapids rocks all day. WGRD-FM Grand Rapids. 97.9 GRD.
Very warm, more humid. 86 the high. It's about 70 downtown. Big meeting going on tonight.
Yes. And I feel like I wish we could be there to represent. We can't.
No.
Some of us can. Yeah.
I volunteer.
Yeah. Well, just one. Yeah.
You'll go to Bridgegate.
You will go to Bridgegate?
The 100th Street Bridge over 131 has been struck by trucks 4,624 times this year, and it's going to be replaced, but not this year. MDOT will listen to your thoughts and share long-term planning from 4 until 6 today.
Yep.
In Byron Center at the Byron Township Hall on Byron Center Avenue.
Now, I don't want anyone to go in and do anything that would turn this into a mockery. I definitely wouldn't want people who have some free time to go in and maybe just give their ideas for the bridge, such as Chad Kroger may.
Yeah. I mean,
when he has the
absurd
concern.
if you asked for the pillars to be made into different likenesses of Paul Walker.
Also, I want real answers to why we can't just dig lower under the bridge. We never got that. Free beer, who thinks he's some sort of architect, naysayed that story real quick.
Well, I don't think
or that
an architect
idea.
That would be a civil engineer. And my
You don't think
objection
an
wasn't
architect
to
could
the,
build a lower road?
That's
under a
not what
bridge?
they do. No.
They are the architect of the lower road under the bridge.
The only part I disagreed with was your premise that it would only take a weekend. They just
I
have to
didn't say
close
no
it
one
for-
said that.
You guys had a very short timeline and made it seem like you only had to dig up a little bit of asphalt.
No,
You know
that
what?
wasn't-
I bet
that
they
wasn't
could
the
do
only
it in
thing
a
you
weekend if they
disagreed
wanted.
with. You also disagreed with the idea that roads are ever made out of asphalt.
Yeah.
Did,
Yeah, that was
That
your
part
main,
I was- that
that
part
was
I
the
was
main
wrong
point
about.
of stupid.
Everyone knows
that
they're
we
made
all
out of
know.
marshmallows and
But the other part I was right about, that it wasn't a simple process of just tear it up and lay down new and
it is
dig a
though.
hole.
It is.
You really stuck your neck out on that.
Yeah.
That, I'm telling you, the
Yeah.
premise,
It would take-
that's
it
the
would
part
take
that
more
was
than 2
wrong.
I'll
days.
bet it could be.
Yeah.
I'll bet
That
they
was
could do
the
it
part
in
you
2
guys
days.
said they could do it in 2 days.
If
No,
they came
can't.
together,
I'm still right. They still can't
If
do it in 2
if
days.
they completely shut everything
Could do
down
it.
and went bananas, they could do it.
absolutely
They could do it if they wanted to. So basically what this meeting will be is they will listen to your concerns and ideas, but they don't care about your ideas or concerns. And then they will tell you how it's going to happen next year.
No, it said
Yeah, no, they don't care.
we can learn more and we can provide comments.
Yes, you can. Yeah, they'll listen to your comments. They just don't care what they are.
They should.
They won't, though. Would you?
No.
Yes.
None of the people coming know anything about bridge repair.
No.
You don't have to know anything about bridge repair.
You're proving that.
You
Well,
only
they
have
didn't
to
know-
have
I mean,
a good idea.
Obviously, initially they didn't know anything about bridge construction.
You know, when Tom first built MySpace,
so-
it's not like he was an expert on MySpace.
Tom.
You've got me there.
Yeah, that's a good point.
Oh,
Yeah,
So
it
he
is.
was
Wait, your friend Tom?
the world's foremost
My first friend, Tom.
Yeah.
expert on MySpace at that time.
It's
No
true.
one.
He wrote everything he knew on that chalkboard.
He had no idea.
Yeah.
No
Yeah, he wrote
idea
My
what
Name is Tom.
MySpace was. And he built that.
Well, that's a great point.
I know.
We
You think
should have
he's-
him fix the bridge.
Do you think Tom is even still on MySpace? Because he
No, he
sold it,
right?
I'm not sure Tom is still alive.
I don't think
Oh,
Justin.
he is.
Yeah.
He's probably only like 40.
He was
Yeah.
sparring with Malcolm in the Middle not too long ago.
What?
Whatever that kid's name is.
He's 47.
Frankie
Muniz.
Muniz, yeah.
So I think he was trying to mock Tom, and Tom threw his bank account numbers in his face.
Oh,
Or
geez.
maybe someone was mocking Frankie Muniz.
I feel like, didn't someone mock Frankie Muniz for having a disease?
Did Tom mock Frankie Muniz?
You mean your friend?
Oh,
I think he did.
Man.
I
not
need
gonna
to
be
figure
friends
out this,
anymore.
I don't
this
know
feud that I've.
what's happening.
Tom and Frankie Muniz.
Just Tom.
MySpace Tom.
Wasn't it?
Yeah. That's
Was
what
it
you gotta
Tom
look up.
Anderson?
Yeah,
Yes, it is.
It's Tom
Wow.
Anderson.
Good for
job.
you. Or bad for you.
They were good friends.
Anderson.
Yeah, he was in my top 8.
Smackdown. I imagine this is how it would be labeled. So, nope, not Carl Anderson. who was on WWE's SmackDown. Let's
Maybe
see.
maybe they never.
You know
argued.
what? Look at this. How did I guess? That once you get past the wrestling videos, the first thing is MySpace founder Tom Anderson lays the smackdown on internet user who was probably Frankie Muniz, who'd created a different account, obviously.
So Frankie Muniz created a burner account to fight with Tom from
go
MySpace.
After MySpace Tom.
Yeah,
Yeah.
that's all really pathetic.
That seems right.
Hey, tell me what is the most annoying part of this picture. It's probably that they put those stupid things that no one ever uses right there in the corner, and then it covers up some of what the actual article
yeah,
is.
that is a bummer.
I hate. Screw you, Inquisitor. Let's see. This guy, we'll just make it up. MySpace Tom. This guy at MySpace Tom. No, I just don't. There's not enough. I guess I'll just have to find a different one.
We're going to get to the bottom of this.
Wow, cool story.
It's not my story.
Wait.
Who are we listening to?
Is this what you're looking for, Joe?
That's a good one. Yeah. Okay. See the whole thing there. Go ahead. Take it away.
Oh, I don't want anything to do with this. I don't know what I'm speaking on. I was just catching in and out. I was editing.
All right.
Tom Anderson writes, people keep asking, so I'll say it. Fear over Instagram's terms of change is ridiculous. Get real, folks.
And then Polo Tapia.
Tapia writes, says the guys that was not able to keep a social network alive.
Oh,
He writes back, says the guy who sold MySpace in 2005 for $580 million while you slave away hoping for a half day off.
Oh,
Burn! Sick burn!
Smackdown laid. Oh, Frankie Muniz. It's got the whole thing right there.
Yeah.
How convenient is this?
So
BuzzFeed.
Muniz just
No.
swoops in.
No, it's
They
totally
are-
separate. But
they
I'm
are
sure.
unrelated. Someone else took a run at Frankie Muniz.
In
to
the
which-
same thing?
No.
They're just showing famous people's burn retorts.
Joe took
Where
a
they're
Reddit
kicking-
list of great burn retorts and turned the people against each other.
It was a Royal Rumble.
The Frankenstein battle of Frankie Muniz versus MySpace Tom.
Yeah.
Oh, it's got to happen.
So
There's
Someone
gotta-
wrote,
So then I Heart Mountain Dew goes after Frankie Muniz. This is separate from Tom.
So Tom
And
has
says,
nothing to do with this.
Nope, nothing at all.
Are you sure?
Positive. And
Okay.
then I Heart Mountain Dew says, at Frankie Muniz, your acting is just awful. Sorry, but it is. And then Frankie Muniz's retort was, at I Heart Mountain Dew, yeah, but being retired with $40 million at 19 has not been awful. Good luck moving out of your mom's house before you're 35.
Smackdown laid.
Boom!
Muniz for the win.
Hell yeah, man.
Fatality.
He only has 40 million.
That's a lot.
That's a lot.
considering
That's a
he
lot,
only
but that
did
show is
one
massive.
but he only did one show.
and a couple
And,
movies.
and he was at
He was
and that
Cody
at-
Banks.
and that was at 19 though. He was only 19 years old.
Yeah, I guess that's okay.
Now,
I guess I just thought he had more. I would've-
If he were here and he heard you say, he only has 40 million, I bet he'd be like, what the F do you want from me?
Yeah.
No,
What
I
is
mean,
wrong with you?
Yeah.
I don't know. He was huge for like a decade.
It's a lot of money for someone with no talent.
But you know, like those first 3 or 4 years, he probably made very little money overall.
Yeah.
It's not until those later seasons where the contracts come in and they go, okay, now you're paying me.
I guess.
It's like
Come on,
it's
Muniz.
like it's like
Need a
Friends.
better agent.
Yeah, like the cast of Friends. I think the first couple of seasons didn't all of them make like 30 grand an episode or something, and by the end they were all making 1.2 million per episode or something.
That's usually, it's
Yeah.
usually something like
You know.
that. Who else did Tom fight with on this list from BuzzFeed that he had nothing to do with?
Carl Anderson
yeah.
and Luke Gallows.
Yeah. Yeah.
Those are
Grover.
wrestlers.
Grover.
Yeah. Probably at Wendy's.
Yeah, everybody does that.
Yeah.
I've enjoyed this break.
And Nihilist Arby's.
Nihilist Arby's.
Yeah.
I like that.
Yeah.
I did too.
Is that how you say it? Nihilist?
Yeah.
Yeah. Nihilist.
For some reason, that one always makes me self-conscious.
Why?
I always second guess. I'm like, maybe it's nihilist.
We should start. I thought sometimes I see words and I'm like, I don't know how to pronounce it, and I don't want to embarrass myself.
I didn't.
And you just replace it. You're like,
Oh, all the time.
people who don't care about anything in this world, Arby's. They'll get it. Yeah. It sounds just the same.
All right, so there's a couple of events we want you to come out to tonight, and then one on Saturday. Then there's lots of other events, too. First of all, Steve will be at Jeep Night tonight at Cedar Springs Brewing Company, brought to you by Watson Rockford and Kevin Irwin at Remax United. Steve will be there. German Kooster beer, a whole bunch of great prizes. Steve will bring his tricked-out Jeep.
Yeah.
And by that,
Yeah.
I mean his Jeep.
You can take selfies with Fender.
It is
Fender will be there.
now in the post in the Facebook event that they created. It says that I'll be there with my modified Jeep. Remember, modified is in a sense of it looks different than when I first got it.
It's modified from factory.
It's modified from
it's not
totaled.
the way. Yeah, it's not the way that it came from the factory.
Right.
Yeah, it now has
Thus
all
modified.
the parts. All the parts are back on it. It runs and drives out good. And yeah, I will have the Fender from the Green Bay Fender that made its way back on the flight with us. Last week.
Well, it's the Manitowoc Fender.
Yeah.
Oh, true, Manitowoc. Yeah.
From Avery.
Yeah, you got
Yeah,
it
got it
from
from
the
the Avery
junkyard. Yeah.
Yep.
We're 4.5 miles away at its closest point on the interstate.
Should have gone.
And do what?
Drive past it and get the cold shivers.
Solve the mystery.
Yeah, I mean,
Yeah.
it's not
See
like
if there's any new cars just put out there by the Manitowoc Police.
Yeah.
it's not like we would have been that far out of the way because we were 700 miles from our hotel and the event.
Right?
By the way, do you guys think it's BS that the Supreme Court won't even hear Brendan Dassey's
Yeah, so he's screwed,
argument?
right?
Like
he's,
they were. I thought they were like.
That's it.
I thought they were like, hey, yeah, we made a huge mistake. This kid is in there, like, literally for no reason because he was framed.
He had a release date.
I know.
And
How
then-
did that? What kind of monster was the one who said, yeah, we can't have this kid who never did anything out on the streets?
Well, they must, I hope, for the sake of peace of mind, they really believe he had something to do with it.
I don't believe that.
Based on evidence they know. It's not just we can't afford to lose this. It's not just
You
pride.
don't think it is? I think it is.
No,
I really do.
I kind of think it is.
Yeah.
But I don't
Maybe
like to
to
think
a
that.
degree, but
I don't like to either, but it happens.
But is that one of those things where it would be more that they would turn it down because typically the Supreme Court hears cases that would have greater ramifications over the general populace?
I thought they hear everything. I thought
did they just say no? This would make more sense to remain at the appellate court level or the circuit court or whatever court it was heard
But
in.
you would
It's
think
regular federal court.
if one court determined that he should be released and another court overturned it, then it would be up to the Supreme Court to make the ultimate decision instead of just saying we won't hear it. Like,
I
there's-
don't know.
Anyway,
It's very strange.
Brendan Dassey,
Yeah.
Jeep's Fender, and Steve's other Jeep will be at
Cedar Springs Brewing
Cedar
Company.
Springs.
Yep.
Yeah.
Me, Hot Wings, and Joe will be at the Wealthy Street Theater tonight, starting at 7, going till we're done. It is a free show. No tickets necessary. Just show up. As long as there is room, you can get in.
Right.
The library.
There's free is a lot of entertainment for that kind of money.
It is a cash bar. And there's all the details at WGRD.com. Again, it's here are all the comical, freakish, and ridiculous news of the weird from the three of us.
I really love this idea.
I do too.
I think this
Yeah.
is a spectacular, unique event.
I
We
think it'll
liked
be
the
fun.
idea, and then we saw all the stuff that the Grand Rapids Public Library and their librarians pulled out for us. And then I was really excited.
Yes.
We could give
have-
an example. Want to do an example of one?
Oh yeah.
Yes,
Sure.
but make sure it's not the best one.
I'm just going to do the first one.
I don't. That's the
That might
thing.
be the best one.
These books.
I didn't read that far in.
They gave us these big fat binders.
Yeah, there's
Filled.
a lot of news items from. It runs the gamut. But there's a lot of really early ones. What's the first one dated? Like 81 or something like that.
January 24th, 1865.
65. Wow. So a year after that would be a year after the Civil War, right?
By the way, earlier in the week, we had been talking about what the capacity of the place is. So I just looked it up. Capacity is about 400. But did you know that place was bombed in the 30s?
It was bombed up by a mad bomber.
Yeah, I looked up because I just went to Wikipedia.
Seriously.
And you know how they have all the main headlines, like people who have performed there and this and that. Well, one of the headlines is bombing. I'm like, oh, I got to read this.
Oh, that might be in the binder.
No, that's happening tonight.
In 1930, theaters in the area had a labor dispute with the union over hiring non-union staff. 2 union projectionists blew up the rear of the wealthy theater with dynamite on March 19th.
See, that's such a union thing to do.
Yeah.
That is crazy.
Progress.
Well, with everything that's happened recently, there will be no more unions to bomb things someday, it seems. And
That's
that,
pretty good.
in my opinion,
Well, they
not
won't,
pretty good.
They won't want to because they'll have more money
I mean,
in their
the theater.
pockets when they're not forced to pay their way into a union they don't want to be part of.
Although they did bargain on their behalf, you'd think $45 a month to make higher wages would be worth it.
I don't know. I've never been a projectionist, so I don't know what kind of stresses there are there.
You want to hear something BS?
I do.
When I worked at a theater called the Glen Theater in Illinois, Lucas was filmed there. And
How's bragging camp going?
pretty good.
Did you meet any of the stars?
Like that
No.
kid and the other person.
I sat on the bench that Charlie Sheen was in that movie.
Yeah, so
You've heard of him.
He was Lucas?
And
Corey
Lucas
Haim.
Lucas was Corey Haim. Corey Haim was Lucas.
The woman was famous too.
Was she the one who was in the Goonies? Lucas.
And this
Well-
was about the oil tycoon?
No, it was about George Lucas.
Oh, okay. I see.
Winona Ryder, Corey Haim, Charlie Sheen, Cary Green, Courtney Thorne-Smith, Jeremy Piven.
This was filled to the brim with stars.
I had no idea. I have never seen it.
Ciro
Well-
Papiti,
If you had worked there, you would have gotten that VHS copy they gave me.
Gary Cole. Are your TPS reports, Anthony?
I know who Gary Cole is.
Did he drop the man?
No,
Oh.
Gary Cole.
Yeah,
So,
Gary Cole.
anyway.
Yeah,
So, Jim, who was a projectionist there, amazing person. They were going non-union, and Jim had worked there for a long time, and they said, listen, we're going non-union. If you want to continue to work here, you'll always have your job. And so he quit the union, and soon enough, he did not always have his job.
They fired him?
Yeah, eventually they did, because it was kind of a family affair type of place. Like, well, cousin blank graduated from blank school, so now he can do this. So goodbye. I know, sneaky,
That is
right?
bad.
And once you leave the union, you can't join again. So it's not like he could just go, I'm back.
Hey, everybody.
Yeah.
Funny misunderstanding. I trusted people.
He.
January 24th, 1865, the Grand Rapids Daily Eagle. Beef found. A quarter of good beef was found on a small island of ice under the Bridge Street Bridge this morning.
Well, let's go get it, guys.
What is a quarter of beef? Is it a quarter of a pound or like a quarter of a cow?
I believe it's a quarter of a cow.
Okay, that's a lot of beef.
How it came there has not yet been ascertained to any certainty, though it is supposed to have been dropped into its place from the bridge by some thief who was in a hurry from some cause to get his plunder out of sight.
Ah, mystery and intrigue.
Myrtle could be found at the other side of the street saying, "Where's the beef?" And thus
an ad
commercial
slogan was
was
born.
It will be used in 100 years.
Dave Thomas was-
Someday after something invented is called television, long after radio is invented.
Well, Dave Thomas the First was there at the book depository, staring.
A Dutchman named Russ found quarter of beef and said, I declare I will sell this beef for the next 125 years. At reasonable prices, but not on Sundays.
To people who are 125 years of age or older.
If you're born now, you will buy this beef in the 2000s.
It will taste bad by then.
Kids between the ages of 190 eat for free.
190 and what?
190.
190.
Joe went backwards on that one.
Yes,
90
I
and
did.
100.
90 and 100.
Like, remember, kids 5 to 3 eat free.
Yes. See, I get that.
Oh, never mind. It's 1865. The beef is already rancid.
See what we're doing right now? This is free tonight, and
Yes.
it's also why we won't get through all these.
No, we'll get through
So
about 4
We didn't even
stories.
get through the sexy ads in the back yet.
What happened?
No,
I
no.
need to know what happened.
There is no what happened. It's a print
it-
story from
it- it's a
1865.
remaining
Follow up?
Well, maybe farther into the binder here, we'll find out what the origins of the
What?
quarter of beef were.
And a cold case about beef was solved today.
Gladys Hemphill ran across a cow missing its back hips. Most disappointed was it to the plunder.
She called him front hoofer and took him around Kent County.
Quite a subterfuge it was.
3 hay pennies and some snake oil could be found.
Most people believe they were stolen by a rogue group of southern dandies.
It's going to be a mess tonight. Can't wait. Wealthy Street Theater, 7 o'clock. Hope you'll join us.
We should have asked them if they could specifically dig up things that happened in our building right now.
Like literally dig up a skeleton in the building.
Yeah.
You don't have to dig him
Yeah,
up.
we can take dead Sid.
The stories they're going to tell in 100 years.
Well, yeah.
At this same event.
Yes, right?
There once was a raccoon.
Yeah.
The building was so bad he jumped to his death.
People nearby said the raccoon was the superintendent in charge of making sure the air was clean to breathe.
That was the brief period of American history where animals took over with increased intelligence.
See the documentary Guardians of the Galaxy. That raccoon was an underlord.
I don't know why in 100 years they'll go back to old-timey speak,
Because
but
that's how people talk
It's cyclical.
Yeah.
now. Justin will be at a Miller Lite event on Saturday, June 23rd. That's this Saturday. That's not it says June 23rd, but it's June 30th.
Yeah.
Yeah, they changed the dates a few times.
were you there last week?
I was not, no.
It'll be this Saturday.
Sounds like you were
Skip
supposed
the
to be.
date. From 11 until 1. Chef Aaron Sanchez will be there to help you kick off your 4th of July from 11 till 1.
He'll be making his famous dish, the dirty.
He'll show you how to grill some of your favorite recipes using Miller Lite. Food samples will be handed out as well. All the details available at WGRD.com.
I was looking at that book when you put it down, and it just caught my eye that it's Aaron.
Yes.
Yeah, wrong.
Well, I get why they did that, but did they really have to break up Sanchez as though?
They broke it up as though it's 3 syllables.
Sanchez.
Here's how they have.
Sanchez.
Here's how they wrote the pronunciation for Sanchez, which has always been pronounced Sanchez. SAN
Yeah.
dash CH
Yes.
dash EZ.
So
Sanchez.
Sanchez.
Is that
Maybe that's it.
Maybe that's how he says
Aaron Sanchez?
We've been
Sanchez.
saying dirty
Sanchez.
Sanchez wrong all these years.
Sanchez.
Is it possible that it is Sanchez?
I hope not.
Maybe
No,
he
that's not
maybe
his
he
name.
pronounces it a little bit elitist.
I hate
Sanchez
feeling
easy?
silly.
Aaron Sanchez.
I don't know. I think Zach said that him and his girlfriend watched his cooking show or something that he's on. I don't know. I don't know how to say his name. I'll ask him.
I shall fight you. like Zorro once did.
I feel like
I
you were
am
doing
Aaron
a
Sanchez.
play. And
Yeah, and
I
you sound like
came in
Boots.
midway.
That's the
I will
point.
fight you. Why is there a duel?
Yeah. Because clearly he is a Spanish fighter. And loafer.
I will put the mark of Sanchez on your upper lip.
Right.